Hi, you're joining me, Ashley King, a podcast enthusiast who loves to chat. I run a studio called Flamingo Heights Podcast Studio in the Oosburn, Newcastle upon Tyne. We specialise in audio and video podcasts, and we're passionate about helping people to bring their stories to life. You're listening to our pop-up podcast recorded at the North East Business Expo, hosted by Fresh Events in partnership with the Chamber of Commerce Northeast. It was a super busy day and we got to chat to lots of small businesses and individuals about the work they do and why it matters. By the way, these guests have had no media training or preparation. It was a very spontaneous thing to do on the day, recorded in a very noisy space. We hope that these recordings show that with a little support and the magic of editing, any story can come to life. So, without further ado, let's jump right in. Hello, it's great to meet you.
And you too.
Yeah, so can you tell us who you are, what you do, and how you help people?
Okay, so my name is Tony Hardy, founder and director of Canny Creative. We are a branding and website design agency, and we help companies with, growing their business through their digital presence, essentially. I'm also a massive introvert, so I don't really do the sales pitch, even though I'm the salesman.
Well, I'm really excited because you've done a little mini podcast and we can pop that on our website and there'll be people that you have no idea who they are who will be listening, and that's creepy, right?
Yeah, it's a bit creepy. I'm all for it.
So tell us, you help organizations stand out online, right?
Yeah.
So what would you say your clients are struggling with the most right now?
I think budgets are upside down. I think everyone is feeling it, and everyone wants more for less. And also, what we're struggling with is a battle with AI. Like, people are, we're going to just do this with AI, and it doesn't work, and then they're under pressure, and then they go, and then people change. It's a strange world.
I think people are excited about AI, especially things like ChatGPT. It saved so much time, but there's still always going to be a need for real people to interact with content and advice and how we prompt things. So there's cool jobs coming, but we have to be careful that we make sure we still deliver for our clients.
I think you've got to use it, but got to understand it, and it's got limits. Also, how long's ChatGPT been out? Like a year or two?
Yeah.
And I'm sick of hearing about it.
I know, it's been covered so much. So one thing I'm excited about is things where you can auto-edit or auto-correct audio, things like that. But something I've come across is often there's some great platforms, but when you work with massive 4K, 6K video files, where does that content live?
Yeah.
And then how is it safe and is it protected and who has access to that data and how does that interact with your clients and their contracts? And it's a whole big thing to think about.
Yeah, it's a lot. Have you seen the Adobe thing?
It's
the sound effect.
Yeah,
that's cool.
It is cool. Yeah, what are your thoughts on it?
We used it, so we shoot a bit of video, like we do a bit of TikTok video, and because cool kids. We used it to sort the sound out on that, and that was impressive. It saved loads of time. The little things like that I like a lot, but huge amounts of AI content generation, not so much.
Yeah, I think there's some great things like that, like you say, which will just save so much time for people, but at the same time just being careful and cautious about growing in a sustainable way.
Yeah.
I think I'm really excited about the future, but I also want to make sure that any clients I work with are protected by positive ethics. We can think about how we store their data safely, their content, and that we don't expose it to some AI tools that maybe might put them at risk.
I think it's a dodgy time, isn't it? I don't know where it stores the data. People don't. Yeah, you just plug it away and hope it's safe.
It's a really good point, and it's something I think that would be a good podcast blog.
There we go.
So for anyone listening who hasn't met you yet, hasn't discovered your organization, what do you want them to know about you and how do you serve them?
I want them to know that SEO is a myth and it's just common sense. And
so
anyone can do it.
That is so controversial. So tell us more about why you think SEO is a myth.
I just think there's a lot of people selling rubbish things like silver bullets that are going to generate results. And I think you have to have a fundamental understanding of your audience, your brand. Your website has to be there before investing in something that's a bit snake oil.
I agree with you, actually. I see your point there. I think with search engine optimization, for those who don't know that term, it is this lots of great gurus and people who teach all kinds of things. However, there's basic fundamental foundations, as you say, that need to be there. Like, what is your marketing strategy? Who do you want to reach? You could attract all the traffic in the world, but unless you know what you want to do with those leads and what service you might want to sell them, then actually why are you trying to attract them in the first place?
And even then, the SEO gurus, you can learn what they are selling in a £599 course. On Google's own website. They tell you how to do these basic things.
It's true, there are lots of tools out there, and then you've got fantastic things through Google Garage, workshops and all this kind of stuff. So if you can access it, you should do it.
So that's my thing. I think SEO's, it's not a myth. That was maybe a bit of a controversial statement, but it's not as hard as everyone makes it.
Yeah, I think you're right. If you've got a strategy, if you know what you're doing, it can be a tool, but not necessarily the only tool, the most important tool.
Exactly.
So perfect. Well, that's all we got time for. Thank you so much.
No problem. Good fun.
Thanks for listening. If you enjoyed this content today and you feel inspired to start a podcast, reach out to us at hello@flamingoheights.co.uk. We can't wait to help you get your idea started.